My goal with this video, this short video, is to set you free from feeling so frustrated using stuff that doesn't work, and especially using something that has worked really well for somebody else that doesn't seem to work for you. So you're looking at this pre-launch script without a phone expert. I might change the title later, but it's a pre-launch script. It's basically inviting somebody into the business, specifically the profit group. So it's there's a few steps in it. It's an invitation sequence. It's a process. But I don't want you to feel frustrated because one variation works for somebody else and it doesn't work for you, and you start to wonder, it worked for somebody else. They're successful. What's wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. I'm going to set you free of thinking that way. There's nothing wrong with you. Here's the deal. So if somebody has a history that is going to reward them because maybe in their past they're a person that was always they always did what they said they were going to do. People perceive them to be an honest, loyal, successful, ambitious person. And that's just, because of their history, because they've always been there. They always had the integrity to do what they said they're going to do and over-deliver, and maybe gave a lot to charity and things like that. Maybe they've been in another business where they had huge amounts of success and everybody that they know already knows that. So then they get into this business and they start inviting people. They can say almost anything and people are going to be interested. They're going to want to join. And then they're on a stage, walking across their company stage. This is all I did. I invited everybody I know with the script. It seemed to work. And then you try it, but your history is maybe very different. Maybe you've never owned a business before. And maybe you have a history of being lazy, and now you're turning over a new leaf, and you're frustrated because nobody's giving you a chance to see the new you, and they're not supporting it. All these different things. So one script that's going to work for somebody else is probably not going to work for about 80%, 85, maybe 90% of the rest of the population. That's just the way it is. So you don't want to use what they use because it probably won't work. You want to use something totally different. And that's where step one specifically of this document comes in just incredibly handy for you, to take away that frustration and to start giving you some results instead of frustration. So pay attention very carefully. Everybody has a history that is either going to reward them or punish them. So the kind of history that's going to punish you with your warm market is a history of maybe you've been lazy, maybe you've never been a business owner, so why would anybody listen to you about getting into your business? Or maybe you have and you sort of jumped around from business to business and you never gave any of them a chance to work, or maybe you worked really hard but you did all the wrong stuff. I don't know. So who would listen to you about, another business opportunity? It's going to fall on deaf ears. They're immune to it by now. Or maybe you have a past of maybe you were not the most honest person, or maybe you were just not always there for, I don't know. There's so many different variations, and all of us fall into that category at least at one point in our lives or another, and that just is what it is. So that's an example of a history of a past that is going to punish you with your warm market people that already perceive you to be that way. And then an example of a past that's going to reward you is you're not lazy, you're ambitious, you're successful, and people perceive you to be that way. So you can say almost anything, and they're going to be interested, and some people are going to join you right off the bat. So if you look at step one, I got those different variations, and you're going to see the ones that I just outlined. So there's a variation for you if you've never been a business owner, and maybe not much success. There's a variation of step one if you have been a business owner, or if you've just overall been successful and your warm market sees you as a person of integrity and somebody that they'd want to lock arms with. There's a script for you for that. There's a script for you even specifically if you've been in other businesses before that you've never gotten to work. There's a script for you for that. So you're going to want to go through those and pick the one out that's going to be appropriate for you. Because if you don't pick the one that's right for you and where you're at and what your history is, and the right one that reflects your past as your warm market perceives you, if you don't pick the right one, then you're probably not going to have any early success. But if you want to start bringing people into your business like right away, the first week, maybe the first day, I'm not kidding, sometimes people bring people in the first day because they reached out to their warm market with the right variation of step one. That's huge. And then to go one step further beyond that, you're going to want to change the verbiage a little bit of whatever variation that you use, because your warm market knows you to talk a certain way. If you talk the way that I talk, they're going to look at you like you're weird and who are you? Are you reading from a script? That sort of thing. So you want to talk to them in a way that they are already familiar with you. So, and by the way, when you do that, when you modify the verbiage to reflect how they know you, You want to keep the ideas there in the script, and you don't want to beat around the bush or anything like that. Okay? So try that out. Just do it. Don't try. Try is a very weak word. So I try not to say that. There I go again. So just do it. And if you're having any struggles with picking out the right one, or changing up the verbiage, or you don't know who to invite, connect with us and let us help you so that you can be in profit mode. Because one really cool thing about starting to make some money quickly is then you can change up how you're piquing people's interest by leveraging that fact that, hey, I got into this business, I've never been successful at anything like this before, and I started getting paid the first week or the first 30 days, or I just had my first $1,000 paycheck in the course of a week doing this in my spare time outside of everything else I've got going on in my busy life. Would you like to know more about that? And who's going to say no to that, especially when it's your own testimonial? So that's why you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to start making some money quickly, because that creates just an awesome invitation. And the first step in all of this is picking out the right peak interest question, the right variation of step one. So if you need some help, don't hesitate to get it. We want to help you. We want to help you be successful. We are very interested in your success.